Yes, so this is a new initiative by the library that we've decided to partner with them with as far as Learn Local. So once a month, we'll be highlighting a business owner and they can tell you all about their business. I do have a lineup of questions here to kind of guide the conversation, but listening to you talk, you're all very familiar with yoga at this point. So I'll just kind of, as Carmen goes through her exercises, I'll just kind of interject where I think the questions might be relevant.
You want to do it that way? We can start with it and open with questions.
Well, I mean, we just started with what exactly is yoga and where did it come from?
Okay, well, I'll start with that. So yoga is an ancient practice, originated in India. And if you grew up in India, that was just a common thing that your parents and grandparents did the whole time. And it involved not just the postures that we see on the mat, on social media, you see people standing on their head, holding one foot here, one foot there. It involved a lot of breath work. In fact, there are probably over 1,000 different types of breath work, and they would start with breath work in the morning as soon as they woke up, like we go and get our coffee. They would do that. That's part of their culture. So I have never studied in India, so there's that. But it also, hello, welcome. Just have some space around your chair. There's plenty of chairs if you want to set your stuff up over to the side, and then place your shoes underneath your seat. So we're going to do a little bit of footwork too. So it's originated in India. Some people, it's not just culture; it's also part of their religion. But it's mainly breath work and asanas, which is the physical part of yoga. So when you incorporate breath with your physical practice, whether you're walking, whether you're running, right? Swimming is, you have to, right? But when we're outside of the water, we forget sometimes to breathe. And what they have found now is the deep breath and expelling some of that stagnant energy that resides in your lungs, in your muscles, in your tissues, just sits, ferments, creates acidity in the body, creates inflammation in the body, and it also creates sort of a stagnant. Think of just sitting around in your house and just watching TV all day. There's no stimulation for the brain. Now they're even saying that we need to stimulate our dogs and make sure that not only do they get out and they're around people, because they'll live longer, decreasing dementia in our pups. Yes, so now we're talking about the pups. But, there is something to all of that, right? When your brain doesn't get enough oxygen because we take shallow breaths, you're going to get stagnation in your brain. So I'm really working on it. I'm getting closer and closer to 60, thank goodness. So I'm really working on increasing oxygen to all parts of my body. So that's part of that. And that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with some breaths, okay? So I want you to sit to where you're comfortable, but also your feet are flat on the floor, all right? Place your hands at a comfortable position. I'm not checking messages. I'm turning up my volume, and I just lost my little pouch.
No.
That's okay. Hopefully it'll still work. So relax your shoulders and maybe soften your eyes. Let your hands, just feel them right on the tops of your thighs. So your hands are nice and rested. Your shoulders are back. Everyone can hear me good? All right, perfect. Before we begin breathing, I just want you to acclimate to the space. Feel the floor underneath the soles of your feet. Feel the support of the chair under your hips. Relax the palms heavy onto the tops of your legs. And begin to expand at your heart space, your chest. right where your lungs are housed. Without changing anything, notice. Notice the temperature in the room. Notice the rhythm, the pace of your breathing. Notice what you're thinking about. Begin to shift out of doing, out of going, coming, scrolling, worrying, rushing, to just being here. Tell yourself that you have arrived. Tell yourself all is well. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Take an inhale breath. Fill all the way up. Maybe you feel your belly expand. Drop your jaw, gently exhale it out. And then begin to place your right hand on your belly so that when you take your breath, you feel that belly press into your palm, expand like a balloon. So inhale again. And then let the breath out through your jaw. Take 3 more rounds. Inhaling, feeling that belly expand. Opening the mouth, relaxing, letting all the breath out. And again, breathe in. Exhale it out. And one more time. We're going to add a pause and a count. So inhale for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath. 3, 2, hold it. 1. Open the mouth wide. Exhale all the breath out. And stop. Don't breathe in yet. 1, 2, 3. Inhale again. 1. Fill up. Keep breathing in. 2. Keep breathing in like you're getting ready to jump in the pool. Hold it. Don't let the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth. Exhale it all the way out. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling till you have nothing left. And then stop. 1. Resist breathing in. 2, 3. Inhale again. 1. Breathe in longer. 2. Expand to your fullest. 3. Hold the breath. Don't let it out. 3, 2, 1. Open the jaw. Exhale all the breath out completely and pause. Place your right hand back on your lap and notice the effects. When you feel called, let your hands come onto your heart space. Maybe layer them one over the other. Drop your chin towards your chest, towards your fingertips. Maybe you feel a stretch at the back of your neck. And then flutter open the eyes. And release the hands back to your lap or wherever is comfortable. So there's a study, right, about expanding the lungs, holding the breath like we did, releasing it all the way down, as if you were diving all the way to get that penny, you know, did you ever do that in the pool? And then coming back up. You can exhale for a long, long time. You don't realize. We don't breathe that way, right? When you're running, when you're rushing, when you get bad news, right, our breath is short and quick because it has to be. They call that the flight-fight response, right? But what happens in our daily lives is there's not enough stopping. And it's happening from as young as our little kids now, right? They're never bored. There's always something to do. So there's not that rest time where you can just relax, right? Even my parents, now that they've retired, they have to make a conscious effort to relax. Who would have thought that when you retire, it's hard to relax? But I think it's even harder because your TV's there and the news is on 24 hours a day. Used to, after midnight, at least the TV stopped. Do you remember that, Samantha? You girls might not. I don't know. But used to, at midnight, you just got static on the TV. Things turned off. Nothing turns off now, so we're constantly in that short breath, which causes anxiety, stress in our body, even if we're not aware of it. We might not even be stressed, but we're breathing as if. Does that make sense? So physically, what does that do to our lungs, which are a muscle, right? So now when the doctor prescribes, medicine for asthma with little kids, they actually have to practice breathing because little kids don't know how. They don't practice that breath because they have to get that medicine inside. So what do? Inhale, hold it. That medicine's got to get in the lungs. Give it a second. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Right? Just like you're getting ready to dive into the pool. Now, the other thing that does is it promotes relaxation. Why? The vagus nerve is attached to the belly. The vagus is the largest nerve in your body. It attaches to your brain, and it gives the brain the signal to tell you to relax. So as soon as I started talking and told you to feel the ground under your feet, when I started talking like that, low lights, my soft voice, I heard somebody, maybe a couple of people, take a deep breath. I hadn't even started, right? Because that's what we do when we finally get home at the end of the day. Take our shoes off, take our coat off, relax. We start to take deeper breaths. That's a good thing, all right? Same thing happens when you smoke, right? So my father-in-law, he passed away a long time ago, but tried to quit smoking for a long time. Didn't work. But I asked him once, I go, you go to all these doctors, acupuncture, all this, do you really want to quit? He said, no. I said, well, then what? And he said, it's because it relaxed him. Well, we know that the cigarette has nothing in it to relax you. It does the opposite. Why did he feel relaxed? He breathed in, paused, exhaled out. The breath relaxed him. The nicotine did a lot of other things, right? So there is something to it. There's a lot of different breath work. I'll teach you one more before I come into movement, and it's called 4-7-8. And you can build up to this, right? We're gonna do 4 rounds, all right? And it's a lot like the cigarette breath, actually. You breathe in for 4 counts, You hold your breath for 7. But when you do, I want you to think of closing the back of your throat as if you were trying not to swallow, all right? And if you forget to think about that, don't worry. When you exhale, think of placing your lips around a straw. It's going to keep your breath from exhaling fast to exhaling slow, right? As if you were blowing a cup of hot chocolate. And that's how I teach the kids. I don't know if you have kids, but I do. I teach them a hot chocolate breath so that they don't blow out all the breath at the same time, because the last 8 counts is an exhale. All right? I'm going to count for you, and I'm going to guide you through. All right? So we're going to begin now. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pucker your lips. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pucker. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pucker. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pucker. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Notice the effects. Maybe interlace your fingers and pause. You may have gotten a little warmer. It increases circulation. Notice how you feel. Now you can feel a little lightheaded. That's a thing. So if you practice this on your own, be seated. Don't do it when you're driving at the stoplight. All right? Okay. All right. Do you have another question? I'm going to move to like movement, I think.
Well, I guess because one of them is about the health benefits, but you're kind of describing them as you go along, so that's absolutely perfect. And then one of them is the different types of yoga. So
Okay.
maybe as when you go through movement,
Okay.
you can kind of touch on that a little bit.
All right. So there are lots and lots of different types of yoga. I know just a handful of them, even though I've been trained and I've been practicing yoga 24 years. I know just from the age of my daughter. All right, and I've been teaching now for 12. So, but I've been practicing for, I guess, twice as long. But the types of yoga that I was trained in is Hatha yoga, which is on the mat. You've probably seen it. You get down on your knees, you stand up, you reach to the ceiling, you come down to the floor. We do a lot of sun salutations that warm up the entire body. But it can be a little strenuous as you get older. I already have a shoulder injury. All right, I'm creeping up there, but there's modifications, which is beautiful. You use blocks. You might see that when you go to a yoga studio, that there's blankets and there's props, and you wonder what do we do this for? So all of those props help you to get into the postures and allow for modifications. So if you can't reach the floor, but you can set a block in front of you and reach for the block, then it helps you get into the postures. Now, chair yoga has been introduced. I love it for people with bad knees. Before everybody came in, I was just saying how I used to teach the chair yoga at a community center, and I would work up a sweat being in the chair, just moving my arms, moving my legs, taking those deep breaths as if you were swimming but out of water, right? And it's just because it increases your circulation. So what you want to do when you find a yoga class is make sure that the teacher is always moving your spine in every way that it can, right? We tend to move our spine very little, right? So we want to do big twists. We want to arch over to the side, and we're going to do all of that stuff. There's hot yoga that is done in high temperatures, and at my studio, we have infrared heat. Not all the studios have that, but infrared heat is very healthy. Even if you can't practice yoga in infrared heat, it's amazing for your joints because why? It increases the circulation. And your joints have the least amount of circulation in your body, right? Your heart, your lungs, your stomach, the tops of your legs, all of those bigger muscles have more circulation. But where it's the smallest, that's why when you get an injury in your joint, it takes a lot longer to repair, right? Because there's least amount of circulation. All the D1 athletes, the professional athletes, they go into that infrared heat because it speeds up muscle recovery. Muscle recovery is aided with circulation. So is antidepressant. So is the brain. Right? We have little circulation. Our brain is also an organ, and there's also circulation there. So I think it's good for a lot of different things that they're finding out because it increases circulation. Some people like to do it to lose weight because, again, it increases circulation, your metabolism. You're going to burn more calories doing just this in the heat than doing it out here, right? So, there's yin yoga, which I also offer, and restorative yoga. Yin yoga is yoga that is on the floor, which is why we have all those props. We have bolsters that are like big, thick pillows, blocks, blankets, so that you're comfortable. And the yin yoga, those postures are held anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. You might go to an hour class, and they'll do 5 poses. And what that is supposed to do, you can fall asleep, and that's okay. People do. But what it's supposed to do is it works on the fascia. So if you've ever gone for a deep tissue massage, what they're working on is to try to break up the fascia. The fascia is in between your muscle and your bone, and it gets sticky, and it gets inflamed, right? So then your muscle can't glide the way it's supposed to along your bone so that you can get wider range of motion, right? So in yin, your stretches, your postures that you hold is to break that fascia up. So it's a little bit of work, and we use breath so that you don't suffer. All right? So when you leave yin, you'll feel relaxed, you'll get a better night's sleep, and the next morning, you'll be able to move with a little less stiffness, a little less tension. So that's really lovely. Then there's restorative yoga. Restorative, it means exactly that. It restores your energy. Lots of people fall asleep. It's super relaxing. You get into a posture, you stay, you relax. It's a little different than yin. But we get them mixed up. They look a lot alike. So it's all on the floor, low lights, very relaxing, very blissful. And then there's the complete opposite, which would be the power yoga and that kind of stuff, where you're doing a lot of the push-ups, you're doing your jumps, you're balancing on your hands. So there's different varieties of yoga, but I recommend that you find one that works for your body at this time in your life, because it will change, right? We know that, our body changes, and you modify whenever you can. So today what I'll do is I'll do some of the things that I used to do in chair yoga, okay? So we're gonna place the feet. Hopefully I don't lose my little pouch. We're gonna place the feet so that they're underneath your knees, right? And they're nice and flat, okay? So sometimes our knees come in, you'll see people sitting all kinds of ways. So try to get your knees right on top of your heels. We're gonna place the hands, slide them all the way up. Pull your elbows in like little chicken wings. Puff your chest forward. Tilt your nose up and take an inhale breath. When you exhale, you're going to drop your chin. Slide your hands. If they can slide past your knees, great. Round your back. Look towards your belly button and scoop, scoop, scoop the belly. See if you can suck the belly in. Beautiful. We're going to do a few of those. Inhale. Lift up. Arch up. Move your spine away from the back of that chair. Exhale. Slide your hands forward. Drop your chin and round. This is a seated cat and cow. So in our Hatha yoga, inhale, look up. This would be on your hands and knees. Exhale, round. Tuck your chin, suck your belly back. And we're going to do it again, a little quicker. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, round. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, round. 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. 2, 3. Exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Open the arms wide. Turn your thumbs towards the sky. Lift them up and then hook your thumbs together. All right. If you can, straighten your arms. Might not be able to. That's okay. We've got those thumbs hooked. We've got our feet flat. Press into the feet and arch over to one side. Good. Lift up to the center and arch over to the other. Beautiful. Whoop. I knew that might happen. Inhale, lift. Open to the side. Nice. Inhale, lift. Open to the other side. Now we're going to come back to the center. We're going to hold it to one side. So arch over, arch over. Think of your head leaning on the headrest of your car. So lean your head slightly back. Yes, that aligns the neck. Reach your fingers over a little more. Beautiful, beautiful. And push into the feet like you're sinking them into the sand. 1. Breathe in. 2. Breathe in. 3. And come all the way up. Wiggle your fingers. Let go of your thumbs. And come down. Notice the effects. Do you feel something?
Yes.
Do you? I do. I feel here. I feel like a rush, even from my feet. My feet are really cold, but I feel like a rush. Does anybody else? Is it just me? No?
I'm feeling it on my arm.
Yes. If I could pull you up even more, you'd feel more, right? So I talk about the telephone cords. Do you remember? You would answer the phone and you'd be stuck and you'd have to unwind the cord so that you could go in the other room. Your parents wouldn't hear what you were talking about, right? You had to go all the way. So that's what you want to think about when you stretch your side body. So we're going to lift our ribs. Take your hands on your ribs. You can't tickle yourself, so that's good. Lift up and then reach the arms up. Hook your thumbs together. All right. And if you can, squeeze your brain. Yeah. Go side to side. I didn't forget the other side. I'm going to get you now. All right. And when you go to that other side, stay there. And now think of that telephone cord, right? It's right here, that imaginary telephone cord. And reach. Yes, your head leaning back on that headrest. Your feet pushing down, because if everything's going the same direction, you're going to fall off the chair. So we want our feet to push down. Yes, yes, yes. Breathing in. 3, 2, go to your deepest edge. 1, come back to center. Let it go and relax. I know, that's it. You don't need anything else. I mean, seriously, you could just do that and feel better, right? So if you don't remember anything else when you go home, when you get up in the morning, find yourself a chair, do that in the morning, and you'll just be ready to tackle the day, right? Roll your shoulders up and back. Good. And then reverse. Roll them the opposite way. Feels good. Yeah. You're moving all that, right? So now take your arms wide. Your right one's going to cross over. Like, give yourself a hug. All right? Now, I love teaching little kids because they tell you all kinds of things. So I had one do this, and he was bopping around like a chicken bop, bop, with his elbows. So try to do that. It's hard, but it's good. It's a little stretch, right? Can you see that? So now I always do that. I always think of him. Open your arms wide, take an inhale breath. Now the left one crosses over. And you can walk your fingers back, right? This is good for taking off those sports bras. Those are a pain. Lift up and down. Yeah, good. Our shoulders tend to lose a lot of mobility. And our shoulders are a ball and socket joint, right? So they tend to start to roll forward. So we want to open them. So take a hold of the back of your chair. My thumbs, notice they're pointing down as I grab a hold. All right, now notice the shoulders, right? Because some of them might still go forward. See if you can roll them up towards your ears and then back. Yeah, call this rooster pose. Yeah, puff your chest up. Now, think of your shoulder blades behind you. Imagine I put a little pencil there. You had to hold it. Yes, nice. Take a deep breath in. Should feel great. Opening the lungs, opening the heart. And if you can even lean forward, but make sure you sit your butt down so you don't whoop, go like that. All right, pushing into the feet. Nice, beautiful. Now with your right hand, take a hold of the side of your chair right by your lap. The left arm comes up. You're gonna arch all the way over. Take an inhale breath. Push into the feet, lift up and switch. Take a hold of the chair. Right arm comes up, reach it over. Good, pushing into the feet. Nice. Now we're gonna add a pose to this. So scoot over to the left so that just your right butt cheek's on the floor. Pretend you have to share the chair with your best friend. This knee's going to point out, right the same way as my toe, like a dart, right to the side. And I'm going to rest my left arm there. My right leg is pointing straight forward, along with that right knee. All right, so be careful for tucking the toes under. We want them underneath there, okay? Now, take this arm up. It's the right one. Arch it over. And then from here, you stay like that because I'm going to use hand demonstration. All right, I want you to think of your rib cage like a big steering wheel. And you're going to steer that right rib cage up and back, and the left one goes forward. Yes, beautiful. This is side angle pose. It's the same pose that we do in yoga, only seated. All right? Yes. Now come back up. Take your right leg forward. Grab a hold of the bottom of your chair and push into this foot and tilt forward. Now, if you can, you're going to reach for the floor or for your foot. All right? Take a deep breath in. You need a little cushion for the tush, huh? Take a full breath. Nice, nice. Exhale, walk it right back up, and we're going to do the other side. Okay? So bring yourself in. Scoot yourself over. I'm going to take my little friend here. And we're going to set it up right. There's all different kinds of ways to do yoga, and all different shapes of our body makes the poses look different. But what's the same are our joints, right? So we have to line up our joints like Legos. Everything has to align. So my toes point straight like a dart. My knee is over the heel. And the left leg points out to you. I'm not tucking it under. It's right in front, underneath the knee. Okay? Right elbow rests. Right onto that thigh. And the left arm goes up. Now with each breath, I'm going to reach it further and further over. Right. And again, rolling that rib cage, because this mimics this. We want to do the opposite. So roll that left rib cage back towards the back of your chair and bring that right rib cage towards me. So your chest is like a big light. Maybe you can get the chest to look up. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Do you feel the difference? It's right along your lower back. Our lower back needs those twists. It might not like it at first. Now, come back up. Straighten out your left leg. Hold on to the chair and tip forward. Again, if you can, your hands drop. Otherwise, you hold on to the chair. If you feel this in the back of your extended leg, you're doing it right. Nice. Breathing in. Notice there's no pressure for your joints. You're just getting that stretch all along the leg. Now, come back up. Pull yourself in. Bring yourself right back to center. Good. Reach your right arm back. Your left arm forward. So grab a hold of that chair. Your left hand is going to come to the outside of your thigh so that you can twist the body. You can twist the rib cage, right? Yes. If you get a crack in your back, I'm jealous. But you might get a little release, a little pop, right? So get tall, stay tall for me. Yes, yes, yes. And we'll take a counter twist, bringing the left hand back, the right hand over to the thigh, lifting up tall and pushing down with the feet. So I call this just like when you're opening the jar. The bottom of the jar is your butt and your feet. So it has to root still so that the top of the jar can turn, right? Good. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, come back to center. Nice. So we'll do a couple of standing poses just so you kind of get the feel of this isn't normally how I would do a class. It would be a whole hour. So stand up. Let's go to let's do a balance one. Let's get to the right side of your chair. Now I'm going to line myself up so that I'm behind the chair a little bit. The chair is slightly in front of me. I don't have to reach for it. It's right there, just like your buddy, right? So when you balance, you have to have a little bit of, the tightrope walkers, they do this. Their arms are slightly in front. So if your arms are back, it's going to pull your weight back. You might still be able to balance with your arms back, but it's going to be harder. So you'll have more success if your arms are slightly in your peripheral vision. My chair's right there. All right? Take your right hand, place it on your heart, and ground into your feet. Now I want you to notice your feet. We stand like we stand. But when we're mindful, we're going to line up the toes so they're right in front of the heels, as if you were making two straight lines like the number 11. All right? Hand on your heart. Lift up that right leg. Attach your foot either to your calf, or if you want, attach it to your thigh. Don't attach it to your knee. Those are expensive. You know that. All right? Lift up the chest. If you can, you'll bring the other to balance. You might not want to take that chance. You might just want to lift. All right? Find something to gaze at that's in front of you, not below you. Maybe bring your tongue to the back of your two front teeth. I don't know why that helps, but it does. Turn your knee back to the front, drop your foot, and just pedal your knees back and forth. Yeah. So I always say this not with the kids, because they don't care. Kids will fall. That doesn't bother them, right? But I do say this with the adults as they come out, because I can see it in their face, like, I lost my balance, Balance in the physical body, right? It's important because we need our balance, right? When we walk and all of that stuff. And we tend to lose our balance as we get older for a couple of reasons. I'll talk about that in a minute. But mentally, balance is to teach you to start over. And boy, do we have to start over a lot in life, right? We have to try again. And we're lucky every single time that you open your eyes in the morning. Just know, you're lucky that you get to experience whatever it is you're experiencing, right? Your struggles, your blessings, all of that together. Because not everybody has the same privilege, right? So let's come to the other side. Be kind to yourself. Take your arms out and look straight ahead. And if you can see your fingers wiggling, then they're in front of you, right? And then that's how the chair should be. That's how you can align yourself so that your chair is slightly in front. I guess I can keep this. All right? Check out your feet. See, even me, they're not straight. Straighten them out. Relax your toes. Put them on the floor. Take your left hand on your heart. Left hand on the chair. Left knee up. Attach your foot, open the knee towards the side. Beautiful. Find something to look at that's in front of you. And maybe again, think of your head as if it were leaning on the headrest in your car. Because when our head is not on top of our spine, it also affects our balance. Bring your knee forward and drop it down, and then just paddle your knees. Did you guys, on your standing leg, did you feel your muscles work all the way up to your tush? Yeah. You really have to use your legs strong. So have a seat. The head and where you're looking also has a lot to do with how you balance in a standing pose. So the gymnasts, when they learn to balance on that 4-inch beam, boy, you really have a lot more respect if you have to do that, because not only are they balancing, doing all kinds of things, they're above, you know. So, but they eye the back of the beam, because if they spot below, look at my head, right? Your head weighs 8 pounds 9 if you're really smart. And it brings you forward. So that's why I say pretend that you're leaning your head back on that headrest in your car, because then your head is over your spine. Remember how they told you to walk with the book on your head? Right? With that perfect posture, right? Unfortunately, our sidewalks, does anybody, oh, you don't have anything to do.
No.
Our sidewalks don't let us walk like that. We have to look down, right? So we don't fall. All right, so that's why it's important to practice your balance. Now we're going to work with the toes, because the two biggest things that affect our balance as we get older are eyesight. Our eyesight affects your balance so much. Try to balance in the dark. Try to balance with your eyes closed. It's really, really hard. Okay, so I didn't realize this until I started losing my eyesight. And then I realized, whoa, I can feel the difference. But your feet also. We have such great shoes. We spend lots of money on them. That's good. And then we have such bad shoes that we wore when we were younger. And the joints in our toes, again, less circulation in your joints, and your feet are full of joints, right? So you have a lot of less circulation there. So we're going to work on our feet here. Take your right foot, let me situate this, and cross it over your thigh. You can get that, yeah, good, good. So you're going to take all 5 of your toes. I'm going to take my socks off. I had a pedicure a couple weeks ago, so not too bad. So that you can see, all right? So you're going to take all 5 toes, you're going to pull them back. Now hopefully you can make what I call an L shape with your toes. That's maximum range of motion, right? You might not be able to, that's okay. That's okay, all right? Now 1 toe at a time, you're gonna start to push the opposite way. Might be a little tricky in socks, but you're gonna take your big toe and push it, oh, so you get space, yeah. So you get space between the toes. Got it? Do you see how I've got that space between? Now I'm gonna take the second one. I'm not gonna get as much space, I got little toes, right? You're opening that up. Third toe. So now I'm pulling 2 back and I'm pushing, that one hurts. 3 forward. And then again, now the pinky toe, grab that little baby, push all 4. Got it? And now I'm gonna push all 5. So I'm gonna push all 5 and I'm gonna let the whole top of my foot go. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, those are really good. And if you can, put your finger in each toe, like when you get that manicure, pedicure, you know, in between, and just roll your toes. Also very good for the joints. All right, now on the floor. Tip of the toe, ball of the foot. Lift that heel really high and then push weight on it. And then we're gonna do the opposite. Now you're gonna get all 5 of your toenails on the floor and push into the knuckle of your feet. Yeah, yeah. It can be painful, but it's good. It's good. And when you hold this, what you're doing, if you look at my hand, when I squeeze, I'm pushing all the blood out. And you can see that because part of my hand turns white. You see that? So when you push the blood out, remember that garden hose when you would shut off the water? That's what I'm doing. I'm shutting off the circulation. So what happens when you, all that blood flow goes back in. So that's what you want to do with the feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So those are a couple of things that we do in yin too. We work with the feet. So let's do the other foot. Ooh, that toes get cold. I'll do it with my sock because I don't know where I put my sock.
It's there. It's
Oh,
right under the chair.
I see it now. Okay, so left ankle. All right, and we could even do more with the feet. I'm not even touching the ankles here, but all right, all 5 toes, pull them back. You should feel something, all right? And then 1 toe at a time, right? We push. Yeah, it's a lot different with socks. It's better without socks. You could do this in your bathtub, right, where your feet are already warm. 2 toes pushing, 3 toes back. And then 3 toes pushing, 2 toes back. It's hard when they're little. And then 4 toes, grab that pinky toe, pull it.
Just trying to maneuver in my sock.
Yeah, no, it's tricky with the socks. Yeah. And then we'll get all 5 toes and push them down. And maybe even get the whole foot. Right? Good. Nice. And then press it down, tip of the toe, ball of the foot, and you can lean a little weight onto it. Maybe even lift your hips up. Yeah. And then the top of the foot, tip of the toes, and then roll over onto the top of those toes. And the nice thing
I feel like
here,
the center of my foot, like I'm going to get a Charlie horse in there. So it's like to let off
it
the
can.
pressure.
Yeah. And the nice thing is you adjust how much pressure you put yourself on the foot, right? All right, give it a little shake. Put your sock back on. So what other questions do you have? And then I want to open it up to you guys because we only have a few minutes left.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is kind of a generic one. Do you need special clothing or equipment to practice yoga?
Well, I wouldn't practice in this. I just wore it because it was hot, right? But you want to practice in clothes that you're comfortable with, that there's a stretch to. I do like to practice yoga without my socks on. When you're using the mat, it can be slippery with socks. So I can't get my son to do it. I don't know why he always practices with the socks on, but there's something about the feet, you know, and using those, again, using your muscles in your feet. I mean, so I go on the mountain and I see people jogging on the mountain without their shoes on, right? Because they're using their feet. Oh, it looks painful to me, but that's what they do. Yes.
And then is there anything about yoga that you wish people knew?
I wish people knew that they don't have to be flexible to do yoga. That's why you do yoga. So I came to yoga as a retired ballerina. I was already flexible. But what I wasn't was, I needed the strength, right? The strength training. So yoga helped me with my muscles to retrain them so that anytime you do anything repetitively, any athlete, a tennis player, if they're a righty, that right shoulder, that right side, it's going to get taxed because they're using it over and over and over, repetitive movement. So it allows you to balance the body out, and it helps it last longer, right? Because you're not wearing out the same tires. So it's like rotating the tires, I say. But I do wish, I hear that all the time, as I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible enough. So that's the big thing. And everything in yoga is adaptable. So I'm offering now a lot of workshops. I'd love to get like a class on the schedule where it's breath work and meditation. Because it doesn't involve the asana, the physical part of yoga. It involves the breath work, which as I gave a little sample of, and meditation. So you get, I'm just finding more and more people are stressed out, you know, and when you go to the doctor, they give you medicine, which is helpful. I'm not, my daughter's going to be a doctor, so I'm not knocking the doctors. But if there's other alternatives for people to relax and to feel less anxious, then why not, right? So I'm offering breath work and meditation, sound healing and meditation. Those are practices that don't require the asana. They don't require you to be flexible. Yoga asks you to just be who you are. And every day is different. Some days we have good hair days and some days we don't. Sometimes we have injuries that prevent us from doing things. So the body changes. We know that. We know that. So we have to adapt. We have to adapt.
That's it.
All right, do you guys have any questions for me? Like something that I didn't touch on, or if you want to know more about the studio, I did bring my QR code, so you're welcome to look at that and see all the different things that I offer at the studio. You can also reach out to me if you have any questions about a particular class. If I don't offer it, I have been in the yoga business for 20 years. I've been practicing for 24 here in Westfield, so I know a lot of the studio owners, and I know a lot of the studios and the types of classes they offer, so I'm happy to help you find the right one for you.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Actually. What type of yoga would you recommend for somebody that has nerve damage in their upper and lower back and like bulging and herniated discs?
So, okay, so the nerve pain, I would totally recommend anywhere with infrared heat because of the circulation, what I talked about before. Bulging and herniated discs, depending on where it is, you have to be careful when you do like a power class. We're known for doing core work where you twist, and that's not good. Twists are okay, but not when you're in when you're using your core in that state. So yeah, that's a good question though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a basic question. When you inhale, your stomach is in or out? Because
When you inhale,
I
your stomach goes out.
I'm opposite.
Yes, a lot of people are. So I tell the kids, it's a balloon breath, we call it. So you put your hands on your belly and you breathe in and you make your belly expand like a balloon. And then you breathe out. And my favorite thing is I give them a little stuffed animal. And some kids can do it, some kids can't. But you lay down, you put the stuffed animal on their belly, and they can see it go up and down. So you could do that if you have a stuffed animal at home. It'd be fun. And it can help you. Yeah, that's a good question though. And again, it's because of the vagus nerve, right? When you activate the belly, it stimulates the vagus nerve that goes directly to your brain. Anybody else?
Is that yin?
Y-I-N.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes. My studio offers it on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, 7:30, when parking's free, and on Sunday nights at 6:30.
So we're talking to the Downtown Westfield Corporation about the parking situation.
No, she has nothing to do with that. but it is free.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you think of anything, and you're like, I wish I would have asked her. It's brassybuddha.net. I'm sure that Jen and anyone here at the library can give you my information, but just feel free to reach out. I'm available through email. I'm available through my phone, which goes directly to, it's my cell phone, so it goes directly to me. I answer all the emails. You can contact me on Instagram too, and Facebook. Brassy Buddha has, and that's me. It goes right to me. Yes?
I was wondering, does Brassy Buddha offer kitten yoga?
Kitten yoga. No, we haven't.
Okay.
If you have a foundation or a rescue that would like to do it, I'm sure it would be popular.
Awesome.
Yeah, she just did puppy yoga.
I
How
do
did that
puppy
go?
yoga once a month. And it's funny, I had somebody reach out to me, well, why don't you do kitten yoga? And I answered back, I was like, well, I would. I don't have any kittens. So, and then they never answered back. So maybe they were just like, maybe they were real kitten lovers and not dog lovers. But I would. I think it would be popular.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
You have to do a shameless plug for Self-Care Social.
Oh, what?
A self-care social.
Oh,
To plug self.
sorry. Yes, that's right. That's right. We are having, so downtown, thank you, Samantha. Downtown Westfield and Brassy Buddha have partnered up. We're doing a self-care social. This is our second year in a row. This is going to happen in July. You're going to see advertisements for it on Facebook and on Instagram, but also all throughout the town. But it's July 18th. It's a Thursday evening from 5 to 9. On the street, on Quimby Street, which is right in front of our studio, we're going to have over 30 vendors and businesses that provide wellness services. Everything from ear seating, massage, cupping. Last year we had stretches on the tables and different things, tarot readings, Reiki readings, things like that. In the studio, we have 3 different classes. One is a breathwork class. One is a soul sweat class. That's mine. And the last one is a sound.
Oh, that's your dad calling.
Why did he get through? That's weird. That's really weird. I don't know why he got
I'm
through.
actually shocked that I could see it from here.
That's not my dad, that's my husband, because he's like that. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the class is inside. The last class is going to be sound healing. The women that do it have like a big gong, all kinds of instruments. She plays the flute. They're amazing. Sound healing and meditation. So those classes are awesome for everybody. And thank you. I would have forgotten to say that. I would have been so upset. But yes, that's the Self-Care Social, July 18th. And last year we had a lot of people, so it will definitely sell out. The tickets go on sale May 9th, which is the same day as Girls' Night Out.
And she's talking about the tickets for the services inside her studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, coming into the market on Quimby Street is free.
Yeah, and the service there, they call them mini services.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a fraction of the cost to see if you like this particular type of massage or facial.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like a little sample, like when you get samples from a restaurant, but, so they're charging a sample price and a sample, and you get a sample service.
What's the date again?
July 18th.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Samantha.
I hope everybody comes. I'm excited about it.
Yes, and wish us good weather. The rain date's the week after, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah. I think that's the first time you brought it up outside of saying that it would be the next.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, if your body is hard, for example, my only here and here and here feel cold.
Feel
What
cold.
kind of, yeah,
Oh.
strange. Yeah.
No, because cold usually has to do with circulations, and that usually affects your extremities, like my toes and my hands. Up here, if you feel cold, I don't know. Well, what would I recommend? Moving.
What kind of yoga? Ankle yoga.
Yes, any kind of yoga. Any kind of yoga, but
We
definitely
all
the
have-
asanas. Yes, because you move all parts of the body. But chair yoga too. Like I do a whole shoulder sequence where you move your arms. I just gave a little sample today, so we didn't do all of it, but
Okay, just the move.
Mhm,
It's the
mhm,
lower back.
mhm.
Okay.
yeah. So when you walk, have you ever started walking and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm getting hot. Yeah, moving increases your circulation. Just keep moving. hmm Yeah, my mom, she just walks in the yard now because the sidewalks around her house, but just keep moving, even have to push a wheelchair. That's what my grandmother did. She lived to be 100 and she pushed it from one end of the hallway back and back again and back again. So I grew up seeing that, so I know it works. It works. And eat lentils. I don't know. That's like all my family, they live to be over 100 and they all eat lentils. So I eat my lentils. It's true. It's true. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, of course.